What up, what up, what up? Sorry for the wait. I know it's been a while. I just had a daughter 2 months ago. She just hit 2 months today. So with that being said, I apologize. But what y'all want to start off with is combing the hair in the natural direction it flows in. And after you comb everything in place, you want to go in with your clipper all the way closed and set in your first guideline. And with the first guideline, you want to start it on one side of the head, stop in the back, and then start on the opposite side and connect the guideline in the back of the head. That way your guideline is leveled on both sides. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Stay tuned for this fire. Like I said, you want to split the guideline in half and meet and connect the first guideline in the back. That way your fade is leveled on both sides. Now when you stand behind your client, you can see the first guideline from both sides of the head, and it's easier to connect it, you know what I'm saying? Make sure both sides is level. Now I'm just going through cleaning up my first guideline, making sure everything is straight as I can get it, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be perfect, but I want it to be as clean as I can get it. Now I'm coming through with my trimmers, aiming at the bottom portion of the fade to create another transition. Do not take your trimmers all the way up to your first guideline. Stay right underneath that first guideline, creating this second transition at the bottom of the fade. You want the bottom portion to be completely bald, you know what I'm saying? You want it to go from like skin to stubble hair, you know what I'm saying? So don't take the trimmers all the way up to your guideline. Now I got my wall 5-star shavers coming right underneath where I was with the trimmers. And I'm using it in the reverse way it was made. I feel like this way gets it more bald. And if I put in any lines using my shaver, I flip it over and go at a downward motion with it, as you see me doing right here, to erase any lines that the shaver puts in. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, you know what I'm saying? I sound like every other YouTuber. Don't forget to smash the, you know what I'm saying, the like button and subscribe to my channel. But for real though, subscribe, man. I need that. Show love to my channel, man. Hopefully this whole tutorial, y'all watch it to the end. Got a lot of different techniques in store. So now I'm going in, setting in my secondary guideline with the lever all the way open. As you know, I put in the first guideline with the lever all the way closed. So I'm creating an inch gap in between the two guidelines. And after I set in this secondary guideline completely, I'm going to go in and blend out the first guideline and make it blend and transition into the second guideline. So you want to erase the bottom guideline and make it flow into the next guideline. With all that being said, remember to keep this secondary guideline parallel to the first guideline, meaning as the first guideline drops down in the back, you want to drop down with it. You want these guidelines to be parallel to each other. I just put my lever at halfway and I'm going back to that bottom guideline and I'm going up halfway through. So I'm going up about half an inch, creating that transition into the open lever. If the lever at halfway is not cutting it enough, you know what I'm saying? Or if you see a dark area at the top, feel free to open your lever back up. It's about finessing it, you know what I'm saying? The head is not flat. So in some areas, it might be a little bit more difficult to blend it out. So feel free to play around with your lever and get those dark areas blended up out of your, fade, to make your fade transition and flow into one another. You want each guideline to flow into the next guideline, and you want to erase any dark areas that stand out. With that being said, feel free, I always say this, you gotta use them corners, man. Feel free to use them corners, you got to sometimes. It's called finesse. Now I'm taking my number 2 guard in the open position, and I'm going up to debulk the hair. I'm getting rid of all the hair that will not be necessary for this haircut. So I'm taking my number 2 and I'm going all the way up, and I'm coming off at the parietal ridge. The parietal ridge is the part of the head that starts to curve in and go towards the top. So the side of the head that starts to curve in and go towards the top of the head, I'm taking my number 2 guard and I'm riding the side of his head and coming straight off. And I'm keeping this guideline parallel to the previous guidelines. Remember that you want all your guidelines to be parallel. Point blank period, man. You want them to be parallel.
You went beast mode on this one.
Now I'm starting to fade down. After I went around the head debulking the hair with that number 2 open, now I got my number 1.5 guard open, coming right underneath that number 2 open. So I'm fading down, fading down, fading down. Remember that I'm coming lower than I was with that number 2 with this 1.5 open. Now I'm closing up the lever on the number 1.5 guard, and I'm coming down lower. I'm still working my way down. Fading down, man. Remember what I said, fading down, fading down. Make you a little song or something. So remember these steps, you don't have to fade exactly like I do, but whatever works for you. Like, you can take this from me and like make it your own system. You can, tweak it. I know you done watch plenty other barbers on YouTube. I know you ain't just watching MikeWillBlendIt. I'm just here to help, If I can help you in any way, take any steps that I'm doing and make it your own. But like I said, I'm coming down lower with this 1.5 guard close. Still working my way down. Now I got my number 1 guard with the lever open. Still working my way down. Coming underneath that 1.5 guard close. And as you can see, I'm using the corner of my blade to get out any dark areas. I'm not holding the clipper flat against his head. I'm using them corners, man. Remember, you gotta use them corners, man. It's all about the finesse game. You gotta finesse it, man. Finesse these fades, man. So remember, in the beginning, all of his hair flowed to the back of his head. So you gotta come in at an angle to kind of get that fade to, fade. You gotta come in at an angle. I said that all wrong. You gotta come in at an angle to, fade the hair. If the hair flows towards the back of his head, you gotta come towards the front of his face. You feel me? Finessing. That's what I call it.
Damn, you went beast mode on this one.
Pablo, you crazy for this one.
Still working my way down, I just closed the lever up on my number 1 guard, coming right underneath where I was with the number 1 open. In the back of the head, remember I said that's where the occipital bone is. That's where the bone protrudes out the back of his head. So it's gonna appear to make areas look much darker than they are, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta work that area out a little bit more. And as you can see right here, I'm working them corners, man. Like I said, you gotta finesse, man. You gotta finesse, you gotta hit them with them corners, man. Hit them with them corners. Right here, I want to show y'all what using them corners will get you. Right here, I'm using the corner of the blade, which is the last 2 or 3 teeth on it, to aim at any dark areas in my fade. This way, you will not push the fade up any higher. You just aiming at those dark spots, you know what I'm saying? So don't forget to use them corners, man. Now I got my wall half guard, aka the 0.5 guard, which is right underneath the number 1. And I'm gonna close the lever up on it and finish out this fade. This will be the last guard I use. I'm gonna go through after this with clip over comb to connect the fade to the top portion of the hair. So y'all stay tuned for more fire.
Damn, you went beast mode on this one.
Pablo, you crazy for this
I know y'all probably forgot, but if you not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so every time I drop some fire, y'all notified, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let y'all forget. Y'all can't click off this video and not subscribe to this channel. If you gain some knowledge, hit that like button too for me. I appreciate it, man. Oh, and yeah, I ain't gonna let y'all forget to comment too. So all these different little steps I'm taking, let me know how y'all feel about my system. You know what I'm saying? If it's confusing, let me know. If you mess with it, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Drop a comment. Appreciate it, man. I know y'all see me playing with the lever a lot around this occipital bone. Remember, this is the most difficult area to fade because that bone protruding out gonna make it appear darker in certain areas. But you're gonna see me playing with the lever a lot around this occipital bone because you gotta make it, you know what I'm saying, as blurry as you can get it. I know it's a difficult area to fade around. but just play around with your lever, you know what I'm saying? If the open lever on this half guard is not cutting, close it up little by little. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got this, man. I believe in y'all just like y'all believe in me, and I appreciate y'all for watching this tutorial. If you'd have made it this far, thank you so much. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all make it to the end, but if y'all don't, I appreciate you for making it this far. But stay tuned for more fire. And right here, I want to apologize in advance. Well, this is not really in advance. I'm apologizing right now. But the camera angle I got when I'm doing the clipper over comb is terrible. As you can see,
Crazy for this one.
I want to apologize. But I finished the top off with clipper over comb. I basically stick the comb in the head, flare it out a little bit, and any hairs that are sticking through the comb that are not aligning, I'm cutting those hairs off to finish off my fade. And what I mean by flaring out is I'm bringing the top of the comb at an angle, and I'm bringing that angle towards me. I'm angling the comb towards me to expose all the long hairs that are overhanging over his parietal ridge. I want to expose those hairs, so I'm angling the top of the comb towards me, and I'm cutting them off to finish off my fade. Remember to keep a steady hand while you're doing clipper over comb. You don't want to go in too deep and cut a patch in the person's head. And always do it with your clipper in the open position. You can even throw a number 2 guard on there, you know what I'm saying, just to be safe, because you do not want to go in and cut a patch after you done did all this hard work. You know what I'm saying, fading this man up, and then you just put a patch in the top of his head. Now all that work go down the drain. So be safe, you know what I'm saying. You can put a number 1 guard on there, number 2 guard on there, and just angle that comb out, keep a steady hand, and just knock those hairs that are overhanging over his parietal ridge, which is the area that the sides of the head start to curve into the top. Any of the hairs that are overhanging that area, those are the hairs you want to cut off. Look, I know I said the half guard was going to be the last guard I used, but I reneged. I got that number 3 on with the lever open, creating a better transition from the fade to that clipper over comb work. So I'm just smoothing it out using this number 3 guard open. And again, I apologize for the camera angle. It's gonna get better, man. Y'all stick with me, man. I got y'all. Now it's time to bring the fade to life by lining up the C-cup area. So what you want to do here is basically set you a guideline at the top of the C-cup as you see me doing, and then stretch the skin with your opposite hand and come from the bottom using the corner of your blade to create that round C-cup. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called a C-cup, because it look like the letter C. But that's what you want to do. Hopefully that helps you guys with getting that C-cup a perfect, you know what I'm saying, C shape. but keep everything as natural as you can.
Pablo, you crazy for this one.
This will conclude this tutorial, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys learned a lot. You picked up a lot of little tips. Leave a comment for me. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Show my channel some love. But it will be like a part 2 to this video of me doing his beard area. So I'm gonna try to get that video up the same day as this one. So y'all stay blessed and stay tuned for more fire from MikeWillBlendIt.